My dear children, it just happened. From the ancient hills of Israel, a wave unlike any we have known has swept across our world. People were shocked, yes, profoundly so, as an inexplicable, profound inner peace settled upon millions simultaneously, a quiet calm in the midst of our modern chaos. Even the media tried to stay silent, struggling to rationalize the vivid, universal dreams of unity and compassion that transcended every border, every tongue, every creed. We saw, with our own eyes, a sudden, almost miraculous decline in aggression, replaced by spontaneous acts of kindness that blossomed in the most unexpected places. It was as if the very air we breathed was purified, charged with a divine presence, a silent yet undeniable revelation. Stay with me until the end, my dear child, because what I'm about to reveal may change how you see everything. My beloved friends, do you not feel how the world trembles, not with fear, but with a new, profound awareness? These are not coincidences, they are divine reminders, echoes of ancient truths resonating in our present moment. For generations the prophecies have spoken, not as riddles to confuse, but as lamps to guide. As the prophet Joel said, "The sun shall be turned into darkness, and the moon into blood before the great and terrible day of the Lord comes." And while we have often interpreted such words through lenses of fire and brimstone, today we are witnessing a different kind of turning, a spiritual darkness being pierced by a sudden, undeniable light of understanding. The very foundations of human consciousness are being stirred, not by external cataclysm, but by an internal, divine whisper. The great sifting for 2025 in Israel, which I spoke of, is unfolding before our very eyes, not as a physical destruction, but as a profound spiritual crucible, testing the very foundations of our faith, our commitment to divine truth. It is a moment of unparalleled spiritual discernment, centered in the Holy Land, radiating its influence outwards to every corner of the earth. This is humanity's spiritual condition laid bare, a mirror reflecting our deepest longings for unity, for peace, for God. Skepticism initially warred with belief. Many dismissed my words as archaic superstition, a desperate plea for relevance in a secular age. Yet, for millions, for billions now, the pronouncement has served as a clarion call. Churches, synagogues, and mosques have seen an unprecedented surge in attendance. Prayer vigils have multiplied, and a global movement of interfaith dialogue, spurred by the urgency of this warning, has taken root. The initial conflict, therefore, was not external, but internal, a battle between cynicism and faith, between despair and hope. Now, as these phenomena unfold, the battle shifts. The undeniable evidence of a spiritual awakening, of a softening of hearts, presents a choice to every soul. My dear children, this is not a message of fear, but of renewal. The Lord is calling us to pray, to forgive, to return to Him with sincere hearts. He is calling us to shed the superficial and embrace the sacred. This is our moment to prepare, not with panic, but with profound love and trust. It is a call to strengthen our daily prayer and our reading of the Holy Scriptures, allowing His Word to illuminate our path. It is a profound invitation to reconciliation and forgiveness, to heal the wounds that divide us, both within our own souls and between us as brothers and sisters. It is a summons to acts of charity and compassion, to see Christ in the face of every suffering soul. And it is a powerful reminder to strengthen our family and community bonds, for it is in these sacred connections that we find our greatest earthly strength and reflect the divine communion. And it is a powerful reminder to strengthen our family and community bonds, for it is in these sacred connections that we find our greatest earthly strength and reflect the divine communion. My dear children, the Spirit whispers that the age of indifference is ending. A purification is coming, not to destroy, but to awaken. This is the truth unfolding before us, a divine revelation manifesting not in thunder and fire, but in the quiet stirring of millions of hearts. For too long, the clamor of the world, the pursuit of fleeting pleasures, and the shadows of cynicism have dulled our spiritual senses. We have become accustomed to a world where division thrives, where the sacred is often dismissed, and where the cries of the poor and the lonely are too easily ignored. But now the very air itself feels different. The phenomena we are witnessing, emanating from the ancient land of Israel and spreading across every continent, are not random occurrences. They are the tangible signs of this spiritual sifting, this great sifting I spoke of, which is testing the very foundations of our faith and humanity's commitment to divine truth. Consider the profound inner peace that has settled upon so many, a peace that defies worldly explanation, a quiet calm that has begun to quell the anxious spirit of our age. This is the Lord's gentle hand, reaching out, quieting the storm within us so that we may hear his voice more clearly. And the vivid, universal dreams of unity and compassion, transcending every cultural and religious barrier, are these not echoes of the kingdom of God planted in the subconscious of humanity, preparing us for a deeper understanding of our shared brotherhood and sisterhood? These are not mere psychological shifts, my beloved. They are divine visitations, preparing the soil of our souls for a new harvest of grace. The sudden decline in aggression, the spontaneous acts of kindness blossoming in the most unexpected places, these are the fruits of this awakening. Where once there was resentment, now there is understanding. Where once there was conflict, now there is a yearning for reconciliation. This purification is not a punishment, but a profound act of mercy, designed to strip away the superficial layers that have separated us from God and from one another. It is a divine opportunity, a chance to shed the superficial and embrace the sacred, to remember that we are all children of the same loving Father. This is the time for unparalleled spiritual discernment, a moment when the truth of our hearts is laid bare, revealing what we truly cherish, what we truly believe. The challenge now, my friends, is to not let this moment pass us by, to not allow the lingering whispers of skepticism to drown out the clear voice of the Spirit. The world held its breath, and now it is beginning to exhale, not in fear but in awe. This is not the end of the world as we know it, but perhaps the beginning of the world as it was always meant to be, a world infused with divine light, guided by love and united in purpose. If this message has touched your heart, my dear friend, give this video a like, not for me, but so that more souls may hear it. Let this simple gesture be a sign of your affirmation, a small act of charity in the digital realm. And write in the comments, "Lord, awaken my heart." Let that be your first step of faith today, a prayer whispered from your soul, joining with countless others around the globe, creating a symphony of longing for God's presence. Let us raise our voices together, not in protest but in prayer, asking for the grace to understand, to embrace, and to live out the truth that is now revealing itself with such undeniable clarity. The Spirit is moving, children, and we are called to move with it. We are called to be instruments of this purification, channels of this awakening. Each act of love, each word of forgiveness, each moment of prayer contributes to this global transformation. The warning I spoke of was never one of doom, but a clarion call to prepare, to purify, to align our hearts with the divine will. And now we see the signs of that preparation unfolding. The Holy See initiated global programs promoting unity, reconciliation, and acts of mercy, all under the banner of preparing for these spiritual events. And what we see now are the fruits of those prayers, those efforts, those acts of faith. The world is being invited to a deeper encounter with the sacred, to a profound communion that transcends all earthly boundaries. And thus, my dear children, we stand at the threshold of a profound transformation. The great sifting is not merely a concept, but a living reality unfolding before us, a divine act of mercy shaping the very soul of humanity. The skepticism that once warred with belief now finds itself confronted by an undeniable truth. The Spirit of God is moving, subtly yet powerfully, within the hearts of men and women across the globe. The inner peace that has settled upon so many, the universal dreams of unity, the spontaneous acts of kindness, these are not fleeting emotions, but the tangible fruits of this spiritual crucible. They are the answers to countless prayers, the manifestation of a divine promise that humanity will not be abandoned, but rather refined and renewed. This purification is not about destruction, but about discerning the sacred from the superficial, about stripping away the layers of indifference and cynicism that have hardened our hearts. It is a time when the deepest longings for God, for true brotherhood and sisterhood, are brought to the surface. The world, once caught in the relentless pursuit of fleeting pleasures and shadowed by division, is now being invited to lift its gaze, to recognize the divine hand at work in these unprecedented phenomena. This is the moment for which generations have yearned, a time when the prophetic whispers of old are echoing in the present, not as a message of impending doom, but as a clarion call to rediscover our true purpose. The challenge now, my friends, is to fully embrace this awakening, to allow this profound spiritual discernment to guide our every thought, word, and deed, to continue to pray with fervent hearts, to forgive with boundless grace, and to serve with unwavering compassion. For it is in these acts of love that we participate most fully in this divine sifting, becoming channels of His peace and instruments of His healing in a world yearning for light. The path ahead is one of continued growth, of deeper understanding, and of an ever closer walk with our Creator. If this message has touched your heart, my dear friend, give this video a like, not for me, but so that more souls may hear it. Let your affirmation be a beacon, guiding others to this message of hope and renewal. And write in the comments, "Lord, awaken my heart." Let that be your first step of faith today, a prayer whispered from your soul, joining with countless others around the globe, creating a symphony of longing for God's presence. Let us raise our voices together, not in protest, but in prayer, asking for the grace to understand, to embrace, and to live out the truth that is now revealing itself with such undeniable clarity. Perhaps tonight, as the world sleeps, heaven is closer than we think. The signs are not to frighten us, but to remind us that love is still calling our names, inviting us to a deeper communion. The great sifting is not a judgment to fear, but a divine opportunity to be purified, to awaken, and to prepare our hearts for the enduring presence of God. If Christ were to return tomorrow, would He find in your heart fear or faith? May your response be one of unwavering trust and profound love. With truth, and with the blessing of heaven, I am Pope Leo XIV. Until we meet again in light.